You attain consciousness. Taking a moment to gain your bearings, you realize your surroundings. Nothing. Complete silence. You don't have to think about it long though, for a sudden glow appears before you. Its being is rigid in nature. It sits there for a moment before suddenly growing, building its form, getting bigger, brighter, louder until... Silence once again. But this time, it's different. You look around to see fields of grass and trees, slightly shuffling in the light wind. You can feel the very ground beneath your feet. You take a moment before deciding to look around. This world isn't empty anymore. Other things live here alongside you. Some greet you with kindness, some with aggression, and some just want to coexist. As you look around this vast and strange world, you realize it holds lots of long-forgotten histories, secrets for the future to uncover. But as you explore more and more, something becomes a little more apparent to you. Those stories that existed in the past, they don't have to matter here. Where you came from doesn't have to matter. It's your decision now. This world that you have landed into has been given to you. A gift. This world is yours now. Your decisions, your beliefs, and your thoughts can influence it however you please. It is your story now. You may decide how it works. Follow what exists to your heart's content, create something new, or combine the two. Just as the earth you move, the bricks you place and the skies you shift, the story can be built by you. If you love your creation, that is all that matters. As you stand upon your world, one might think, I wonder what other stories exist out there.
So this is my survival world. Every once in a while, I just try and play like a survival world, so I like remember how to play Minecraft and learn all the new stuff. So this was when they added mangrove biomes. I made this world. If you follow me, I can sort of tell you like the story that I have for this area. This is like the village that I just like found as soon as I started, but you might notice there's no villages in it.
Yeah.
If you come over here, there's these sort of ruins here.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, look at this. Wow.
Yeah, so this is actually like a natural thing that happened. The sort of shape that it really was like a little cave.
Oh, and you've just transformed the cave.
Yeah. So the villagers, right? They found this ancient temple and it's trapped them.
Oh, like they've all been trapped inside.
Yeah. So I can do this. It's my villager trading hall.
Oh, and that's how you've set up the trading hall.
Yeah, but like they're all trapped here is the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Press it now. It should work now. There we go.
Yeah.
Over here, this is my storage area. Again, I sort of like this like natural sort of look.
Oh yeah. No, I remember when you started building this and showing me. This is beautiful.
And then this is behind the door because no one's ever meant to see it because it's really ugly. Originally, this was going to be my frog room. But
oh, and that's beautiful. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, but so my idea was it was this a village that had some sort of like ancient evil in it, like like some sort of like god of greed or something, and that's why it's like a lot of emerald blocks.
Oh yeah.
That sort of like appeals to the villagers. So it's like a temple, and it's like consumed them. Like you can sort of imagine it like King Midas.
Midas, yes.
And this is like, they're all like cursed by greed now, so they're forever trading me goods.
They just really need it.
I never ended up finishing it, but I was gonna build like a ruined kingdom over here. So I built the wall.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful wall.
And it sort of evolved as I was playing. So originally I was gonna build like a village area, but then all the villagers died. Well, I couldn't build a village anymore.
Fair
so
enough.
I had that idea for the temple to be my trading room, and it sort of went from there. I was pretty happy with the narrative that I was building here, which is that it was going to be like a desolate kingdom. My idea was this was going to be the village, and then the castle was going to go like up the hill and be up there. My lore is like I can show you another world that I have that has like some it's fun to plan out a story and come up with this whole narrative and everything. But I always prefer when it's like a bit more like natural and occurs as we play. Like say I built a castle and then you built a castle next to mine, and then I built like my castle bigger. That's already like the beginnings of like a very interesting story. Empire has a lot of lore. I think Empire is like a fantastic example.
Yeah, Empire is gonna be like probably one of the last ones I mention.
Again, it's like the same with like a lot of worlds we play, and this is like the world of broken dreams.
I remember! I still have my stuff! Oh, I used to live in that one in the mountain. And then someone's turned it into pink cherry wood.
It was Tom.
Right. This was a realm, was it not?
Yeah. Look, it's just lovely and pink. Like if you come down here, it's just like lovely and pink. And look, there's little foxes here. It's so sweet. Nothing bad would go on in this area.
Yeah.
This one I tried to make it look a lot more
like scary.
And I used deep slate diamond ore just to flex.
No, this is cool though. I love the use of the deep slate diamond ore. Was there even any planned story with this one, or was this just like on a whim?
This was like I fucking hate villagers. That's Ryan's house over there.
He wanted a fireplace.
Yeah, and his entire house burnt down. And then he built it again, and then it fucking burnt down a second time. This world's fun because it had a lot of people who normally don't play Minecraft on it. I don't know if it's still bad, but your game might get really laggy down here. It was over here. He has like somewhere. Oh, it's behind this painting.
Oh my god! That's why I keep getting the occasional frame drop. If you could guess, what do you think the lore implications behind this would be?
Seb really likes pork. There's like a lot of world building that goes into this. Is that this was like a sort of peaceful kingdom walled off from everything else. You could like imagine that all the antics that happened were because we were like walled off.
I remember we did have pillagers occasionally come through, and everyone would just like immediately attack them. Like literally like an isolated kingdom that like immediately attacks any outsiders.
Basically, we spawned in a savannah just behind us here. Basically, for days that we tried to find any sort of civilization, any source of food. Yeah, we came across this lagoon over here. As you can see, I've built our base. There's a lot more stuff to do with this lagoon. I think it's very special because of how ancient it is, because of all the structures through it.
Yeah, the warm ocean ruins in here.
And I think it just sort of reminds us to maybe just stop and, the lily pads in the middle there are for us to just fish and just kind of wind down a little bit and just take it in.
Yeah. So the whole like lore of this is like just kind of about like tranquility kind of thing.
It's kind of like when you go to church and confess your sins. This is our church.
What sins have we bloody committed? Jesus Christ.
We do a lot of destruction and a lot of harm, a lot of creatures. Not too many.
I mean, we did trap both nearby villages. We've destroyed a lot of environments as well, especially with the nether as well. Like this entire area behind our houses.
This is just completely deforested. This was all, as you can tell.
You mentioned that we're like a kind of tranquil people now. Is there lore for where like we came from, do you think? Or
I'm not too sure.
Do they know at this point?
The thing that we believe is that every time we die, we just get reborn again. Different person every time you get respawned.
It does feel like this kind of world, like a lot of others, there's always the push for progression, if that makes sense. Progression of resources, finding different things. It always has the same outcome. As little lore as there would be right now, it's still really fun to have, like, even that vague idea, don't you think?
This world is my forever world, because I'm just absolutely in love with forever worlds. I started this world last year, the day before Halloween, so I actually have some Halloween mobs in a couple of places that you might be able to see. I started this world because I wanted the just idea of a forever world sounded so much fun to me. I was excited to create a world with a story. I was excited to create a world that would last forever, and saying that your world is forever gives you motivation to continue it.
Yeah.
Like you can make a world, and a lot of people have that 2-week startup and then the weeks just go by and they just stop playing Minecraft. When you start a forever world and you try and commit to it, you have a long-term goal, and a long-term goal is what you need to thrive in Minecraft, I think. This right here is my starter house. I started pretty much over there in like a sparse jungle biome, which has been renovated into a bunch of fields. And I started with this house. So around here in this little town is the like spawn town I created. Is a farming village. So every building has a purpose. So this white building over here houses a sheep farm. This building next to it with the big greenhouse houses a bee farm. And this one back here just has like a villager in it, and he sells me like the apples and stuff I need for golden apples. This castle and this mountain has undergone a couple renovations. Sometimes I'll go back and change things, but for the most part, this whole mountain and castle was completely designed in creative mode, and then I brought it over to survival mode using the popular mod Lightmatica, and that whole mountain costed like over 50,000 stone blocks, I think.
You built it yourself, the entire mountain?
The entire mountain. It's hollow on the inside. I would be a lunatic if I tried to fill it in.
God.
This world, and specifically this castle, has a hidden lore to it. The lore in which I've just come up with all on my own, most of it on the spot, just because creating a story, that's another like great incentive to keep a world going. So this castle is a ruined castle from a Yggdrasil forest and a Yggdrasil kingdom. The Yggdrasil are these giant trees, like these grand tall trees, and they're like the size of mountains. So the concept for this area and this castle is that it used to exist in a Yggdrasil forest, a forest so big that you couldn't even see the ground unless you were in the forest. A forest so tall that the trees reached the peaks of these same mountains. As you can see, the castle is ruined. That's because the castle has fallen, and so is the city and the kingdom. That's why this place is no longer a Yggdrasil forest. The Yggdrasil people utilize magic from the sun to create portals to different dimensions. One of those dimensions is the Nether. That big giant ring that seemingly fits right between those two mountain peaks right over there, that used to be a portal directly into the Nether. Before it was deactivated, a king from the Nether betrayed the people of the Yggdrasil kingdom, and the king and queen of the Yggdrasil kingdom specifically. He betrayed them and then burned down their entire forest. So now all that remains here are new civilizations who have since been they've rebuilt. I would even say that some of the people in these towns are descendants of the only survivors of the kingdom's falling. In the kingdom's destruction, the king, queen, many of their people, and even their daughter, the princess, all passed in the war, whether it be through being betrayed or just time caught them eventually. This kingdom, this castle, is left here as a reminder of the old kingdom, and the people of the villages, they tend to it. It's why it's not ruined or taken down for extra stones for, to repurpose these stones or anything, because the people of the city and the people of the remaining of the city, they want to leave a legacy behind. This was originally a palace which thrived in the ocean. It was half in the ocean, half outside the ocean. That's because this world is all about connectivity. So a lot of the kingdoms all made transactions and deals with one another, and they all knew each other. They were all like family. That's why the betrayal of the Nether Kingdom was so hard on the Yggdrasil Kingdom, and really all the kingdoms felt betrayed, even if the only place that ever got hurt was the Yggdrasil Kingdom. As you can see, this kingdom was also hurt in a different way. That giant dark black cube floating in the sky is a void cube. It was risen from the darkness of the end dimension and warped here above this ocean. The void cube's power is so strong that it pulled all the water out from the ocean and threw the water into these big pillars that are floating around it. So all these pillars of water floating around the giant perimeter are supposed to be the pillars of water that are supposed to go back into the ocean. The actual void cube itself has another attribute. If you notice, there's a ton of ocean creatures around us, and they are unnaturally big. The lore is that this cube has this gravitational force, and because of that, it pulled the water out and made all the creatures around it gigantic. And they're okay. They're perfectly fine. The cube has also made it so that they can breathe air, it seems. If I had to describe how I'm feeling about this world right now, I would say I'm more confident in this world than I've ever been in Minecraft. Minecraft has become a very special game for me. It was there for me during a lot of hard times in my life, and this world in particular has been there for an extra hard time in my life. And it's nice to fall back on something that you feel you have control over. One of the reasons why I love Forever World is I get to tell stories that feel right to me and, stories that I've experienced. It's a good way to come to terms with who you are as a person and to tell this story and to be able to show it to people like you and other people around the world that's just what makes me happy. That's what Minecraft's all about. Showcasing these things we create, creating things for other people and creating things together. There's a lot of parts of this world that aren't just mine, they're yours, they're the audience's, and they're other friends of mine. There's mobs all over this world named after my friends. There's builds in this world suggested by friends. This world is going to continue growing, and the best part about a Forever World is that you get to grow with it.
The Diamond Empire was my first main survival world. Something I constantly played for comfort. I slowly played it from 2018 before 1.14. One of my friends had come over one day and brought his PC. So we played a LAN world and we both beat the dragon for our first time ever. Something about the world really had a hold over us, so we kept playing. Over time, we had more people that we knew. My base was moved from this little compound on an island to a giant floating island with a church-like palace on top. We had a few disagreements, so we made laws to help keep people in line, but to also have fun with the court system. Eventually, some online friends joined, had a little disagreement with an overlord, and questioned all of our authority of the entire empire. One thing led to another, and people from another entire server joined. We waged war against the rebels, from small scuffles, sending out troops with elytra to find rebel bases, and even betrayal. It's still one of the best experiences I and a lot of other people have ever had on Minecraft. From that rivalry. Something that I've never been able to recreate elsewhere. Some sort of end influence can be found here, mostly with the purple crystalline structures of the lower region of the island, but somehow something even more than just end and host-like inspiration. The base has so much to hide that barely any of the players on that server even knew of. Even an entire ARG-like scavenger hunt-like event. It was made, but never started. Maybe someday we could get people to play on here again. And maybe, just maybe I can play on my favorite world again. The idea from this video not only came from the people I talked to in this video, but also Mojang's official game design book, mentioning Minecraft is Multiverse. Something I believe they want to have as a way to allow people to creatively have their own lore, without worrying about anything actually tying to that lore. Which I really like how the game presents its lore in this way. Not too strongly that people don't need to look into it if they don't care, but enough so that the people that do care can look into it. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. If you do, I might do more of these in the future. Thank you for watching, and have a good day or night.